Sheesh, that was a huge build. Hey everyone, Johnny here, and I'm joined by Smith. And today on Best with a Buddy, we're going to be checking out Pokemon Pokopia. And hey, the channel's new, so if you're enjoying what you're watching, please hit the subscribe button. We would really appreciate it.
Games aren't getting any cheaper, and with everyone fighting for your attention, we're here to break down the best and worst things of all things co-op. Today, we're tackling probably one of the most disappointing implementations of co-op in the modern era. In a way, only Nintendo could do it.
Smith, what'd you do?
Nothing.
What did you do? Nothing. Nothing.
No, well, nothing. It's fine. I can fix it. Look, I wanted the floodplains habitat, okay?
For those of you that don't know what Pokemon Pokopia is, it is not a traditional Pokemon game. You don't catch Pokemon and battle other Pokemon. Instead, it's a Pokemon builder game. You're set in an abandoned world and you build up habitats to recruit Pokemon to help you build new habitats and recruit other Pokemon. It's most like Animal Crossing. It is like Animal Crossing, but with Pokemon. Oh, he did it. He hit it. He headbutted it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. This is where we check our co-op board for the game, breaking down the key facts as quickly as possible so you know what's coming before you dive in. Bear with me, this one gets a little bit messy. There's a good selection of co-op modes with traditional online and both local and game share available if you have a second Nintendo Switch 2. Progress isn't shared, recipes, items, these are all unique to each player, although you can unlock recipes in shared world and bring those home, but that's the only thing you can sort of transfer. Accessibility, we're giving this a low score. While it is very family friendly, it's great for all ages and has a good selection of different co-op styles. It's still a full price game exclusive to a single console with some rather puzzling restrictions and an insane time to co-op length. The shared world co-op, which is literally just used to give tours to other players, can be unlocked in 30 to 45 minutes, but both Pallet Town and Cloud options open after about an hour to an hour and a half. But to really get everything out of these modes, you're going to need 15 to 20 hours to finish the story. There is no always online here. The Cloud co-op option hosts a server for all players, so anyone from your friend group can join at any time without you need to be online to host the server. This is great for families. If just a couple you want to jump on, you don't need a host player to do it. And there are a few restrictions in shared world, such as not being able to progress with the story or use abilities, but no restrictions on the Cloud servers.
That's the first photo op that's actually felt like a decent photo op.
Yeah, that's a party, man. That's cool. Now we're going to go over some of the things that we love. And one of the things I love is the habitat system in the game. So there's a couple of things you can do. First off, you can just like plant grass and that'll attract random Pokemon, or build rivers, or place objects like, you know, a trash can next to a vending machine, and that attracts Pokemon. But on top of that, you can also build prefab habitats like houses that you can give to your Pokemon to make them more happy and increase their overall level of your town. And y'all know me, I'm a gambler, so when you plant a new habitat, you get a random new Pokemon. The only downside is that you can't get so if you are playing single player and you're in Pallet Town, right? You have Charmander in your single player world. You can bring Charmander from your single player world to Pallet Town, but you can't put the grass down and get a new Charmander. You can only have one Charmander, and I think that's a little silly. I think you should have at least the option to start from zero. Like if I want all my Pokemon again, I won't bring them back to my single player world. I just want them in Pallet Town. That's what I'd like.
Hey, I'm a big fan of the habitats too. I really like the creative side of it where you're just sort of mixing and matching stuff, hoping to come up with some random ones. There's definitely a lot of fun there. For me, one of my favorite features is actually the camera system. Sounds a bit stupid to say it, but when they were first introduced to the big AAA games, I thought they were ridiculous. Who's going to use a photo mode? And now I absolutely love it in everything I can play. And it's especially good in Pokopia because you can take photos of Pokemon doing sort of almost like Pokemon Snap style when they're playing in the sauna, or they're just interacting with each other. You'll have a little notification come up saying there's a photo op nearby, and these can be put into frames in your house and they pop up in the credits and stuff. So I really like that, and I think just every modern game needs to have a photo mode, especially if Pokemon are involved.
Yeah, honestly, I normally don't care about cameras and photo modes in games, but in this one, I really enjoyed it. Minus the camera speed. It was really fast and you couldn't adjust it very much. Another thing I want to talk about is that I think it's a good co-op Pokemon game. I haven't really played a lot of the mainline games co-op, except for like those raid battles, which those are just battles. But I think for Pokemon fans who want to play a Pokemon game in a Pokemon world together, this is one of those games that's mostly good. There's definitely some problems with it. You will enjoy it if you are a Pokemon fan. And most importantly, because this game is selling like crazy. I actually think, personally, I think it's probably the best Switch game to date. It is a great foundation for Pokopia 2.
It's a good foundation if you want your house to be built on horse and sand, but we'll get into that in a minute. Something that I think is a very good foundation for the game is the building system. There's a lot there. It's not perfect. It does have some issues with the sort of being accurate and quick, but you can build pretty much anything to your heart's content. Almost, you can redesign Pallet Town if you want. You can come up with other iconic locations from the Pokemon universe, or you could just put down a bunch of prefabs and stuff. There are some time limits, which kind of makes it a bit annoying, but the building otherwise, there's a lot to do, and if you're a creative kind of player, there is going to be absolutely endless things for you to build and optimize and rebuild. So the building system's great, and I really look forward to expanding on that in future games, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get more of these.
Hey. Okay. Wow, you actually killed me. That's crazy. Yeah, we're definitely going to see a sequel. How about what you didn't like, Smith? What you got?
There's a few issues I could poke at in Pokopia, but primarily the co-op system is a complete and utter mess. Co-op games are supposed to be about the joint adventure, right? You're discovering together, you're adventuring together, you fail together, you succeed together. It's all about sharing the moments the game has to offer with a friend. You don't get to do that in this game if you want to play it the most efficient and optimized way possible, because you can only unlock skills through single player. So you're not going to be able to gather half the resources or gather any of the resources quickly if you go into any of the online modes, because two of them are shared environments where one of the players will go to someone else's environment and you can't do anything. Or you can go to Pallet Town together and build, but that's pretty much only building on one player's world. Or you can go to the Cloud world where it's kind of complete fresh palette. That's what you should do. We went the other way, so if you're playing co-op, just get to that bit and do it, but you still need to go through to the single player to unlock all of the skills. So to play co-op, we had to spend 20 to 30 hours playing single player. And I'm sorry, like, especially for Nintendo, the console, the family console, all this stuff is absolutely absurd. It takes way too long, and the system is complete dog.
Yeah, I do agree that you should be able to get the traversal method somehow in co-op, and I also don't like that the upgraded versions, like breaking the heavier ore, you need to eat food, which eventually wears off. It should just be a static upgrade. But one thing I want to talk about that I really don't like is the object interaction. So you find all these cool objects, like let's say like a punching bag thing, right? And yeah, you can just smack it, and the Pokemon can smack it, but other than that, you don't really do anything but make habitats with them. You get like one little interaction if your Pokemon sometimes goes up to it, and it'll be cool to see once or twice, but other than that, nothing really happens. And that's a little disappointing, because some of the things are really cool, and you can also buy some awesome things, but you got to spend your coins. So I was disappointed in that overall.
I find that to be a common occurrence with most of these sort of cozy games, to be honest. I had the same thing with Animal Crossing, that I really liked the game, but 90% of the stuff you bought had no function other than to look at. I just want a little bit more substance, especially if the Pokemon interact with them. Some things they can, but not enough if you ask me. I think also another issue is sort of the general quality of life also feels a bit dated and archaic. You know, modern survival games or cozy crafting games do things like you can stash all your stuff in a certain box. Like, you can only craft from storage boxes that are connected to crafting benches, so you have to limit your storage at least a little bit, and you spend so much time going through your inventory, crates, and the shop trying to find these totally unique items that you'll never find anywhere else, just to build a specific habitat that you'll then never use again. And I think more use of the items and a bit more creativity with the habitats, rather than relying on all these single exclusive items that you're going to have to buy or unlock or search half the game to find.
And to top it off, when we're in Pallet Town together, I can use the PC and complete group challenges, but I can't complete any of the single player challenges. If I buy something on the store, which I don't even have access to the full store, it goes back to my world. I can't bring items in from my world to our Pallet Town. So I am basically at the whims of the other person. Now, mention the Sky Island. If you want to play together, we both recommend you do that after you get the traversal options, because there you can actually buy stuff together and everything like that. But it's pretty insane that I can't even use the shop. The only good part is, like, a new day pops up and I get a few new blueprints that I can buy for back home. But overall, it's just like, guys, come on. Let us complete challenges together, or even just let me complete my single player challenges. Like, I'm discovering new Pokemon. Why can't I get my points for it? I don't know. It's very Nintendo, as Smith says. Whoa, check it out. We can take these things, the water pillars up top. Oh, cool.
Let you inside for 5 seconds.
Yeah, man. Thanks, bro.
So with our likes and dislikes broken down, what kind of players are going to love Pokemon Pokopia?
This is an easy get for Pokemon fans. There's over 300 Pokemon, and if you've been playing for a long time, there's going to be a lot of nostalgia for you to enjoy. If you're a creative person who likes to build habitats or buildings and you like the Pokemon world, guess what? You're going to really like this game because there's nothing else like it unless you count Pal World, I guess. And ultimately, you need to enjoy playing alone because you will have to progress solo to get some of those traversal powers. So if you don't want to play alone, I don't think you're going to like this game. Oh God. Oh God. What'd you do?
Looks cool though.
Those are the kind of players who are going to love this game, but who should skip Pokemon Pokopia? Well, firstly, co-op exclusive players, as we've explained already, you're going to be settling 20 to 30 hours into this in single player only in order to have all of the abilities you need to truly enjoy the co-op. Absolutely stupid decision. Also, action fans, if you like the traditional co-op experience of gathering Pokemon, fighting Pokemon, leveling up, there's none of that here. This is purely a cozy sort of sim kind of game without any of the core components of the traditional Pokemon games. And then last but not least, if you're not a fan of grinding, you're going to want to skip this one too. The single player uses a very repetitive set of missions that are just going to have you doing the same thing, grinding materials over and over again in each zone, just to repeat a lot of that again when you get to the co-op locations.
Look up. Transform. Go get him. Magnet Rise.
I think we might be a little bit divided on this one, but Johnny, what is your final score for Pokemon Pokopia?
All right, for me, this is going to be an easy A. I can't give it an S because of how much work you have to put into the single player, but honestly, if you like the game, I think you're just going to like the single player and then enjoy the co-op even more. But if you're just looking for co-op, you got to go through so much to get to what I think is a really good game, but it's a huge grind. How about you, Smith? How much fun did you have playing Pokemon Pokopia?
I'm going to have to sit on a B for this one. I think there is a lot of potential here. As a single player game, I loved it. As a co-op game, if you just got rid of all the Nintendo faff of having to play the way they want you to play, and they just let us join in this massive world where we can unlock all this stuff together and play it, this would be one of the best Pokemon games ever made. But from a co-op experience, I found it to be really lacking and frustrating in many, many ways. So if you're just looking for something to dive in with a friend, you're going to want to skip this one. But if you've got the love for the single player, I think a lot of people will have a lot of fun in this one.
Well, we both agree that you're going to have to love the single player to enjoy the co-op. Okay, that's going to do it for this Best with a Buddy. Feel free to leave a comment down below and let us know what your score is, and let us know how you felt about Pokopia overall. Until then, later, Gators.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.